Hey, what's going on, guys? It's DJ Scruffy, baby, live from Los Angeles, and I am back with another episode of Scruffy Live Sessions, specifically episode number 42. And man, we got a special guest here in the studio, Bigg Rickk. How are you, man? Welcome to the show.
What's up, guys? What's up? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm really stoked to have you here on the show, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And just getting started. I know we just met the other day at Waves of Love, Ben.
Yeah.
But how you been? How you been since then? Recovering from that day.
Um, I've been doing good. Yeah, dude, that day was so much fun. I can't believe how amazing of a turnout we actually had. It was really good. I mean, besides the win, fucking knocking over all our tents. Besides that, it was really awesome. Like, thanks to everybody that came. Thanks to you for killing it. You came, did your thing, and it was amazing.
Oh man, I had such a good time, bro. Thank you. Yeah, dude. That was honestly one of the gnarliest days I've had in a long time. It was great to get out, get a chance to connect with people on a much more personal level. I feel like I've been longing for that.
Yeah. I feel like in times like this, a little event like that here and there is just really awesome to just, especially being out in the open at the beach, such good vibes like that. Like everybody that was there was really cool. The artists, the crowd, everybody was just super awesome.
Oh hell yeah, man. That shit took me by storm. I honestly like borderline like almost like emotional like to get like to connect on that kind of like a plur level that
Yeah.
that what I feel like is sometimes non-existing in certain parts of the LA industry.
Yeah, I feel well because that's really our goal with Elation Moment is to really connect not only with the artists that we have with us, but to really connect with the crowd, like make sure they feel our energies. Because all of DJs, with Elation Moment, all of us that were there that day, we all have really good energy. So when the crowd gets to connect with your energy, it just makes it that much better for them.
Absolutely. I'm totally with that. I feel like that's one of the things that I personally strive for a lot as an artist is just to get my audience to really ride that frequency and open portals and see where that goes.
Mhm. Yeah, and it definitely makes a difference with the crowd. The crowd will definitely notice, and that's when they're like, "Hey, these people do a good show. I love the energy. I'll definitely be wanting to come back." And
Oh,
that's really what we want. We want people to keep coming back to our shows. Keep up with us, and just to know that this is giving the same energy at every show.
that's what I'm talking about. And you know what, man? If I had not met the crew at all, and I was just someone online randomly that I saw the promotion for the event and just attended, that event would have left such an amazing taste in my mouth. And it was just literally something that I don't believe sometimes money can even like put a price on it. Like that, it's
Yeah, yeah, I
priceless
understand.
moments. Definitely. And that being said, um, welcome to the show. And just
Thank you.
quick intro, and let us know a little bit about yourself and what it is you do. And definitely.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you said earlier, my name is Bigg Rickk. Um, been doing my thing for a while now. Well, actually, I've been mixing for a little over 9 months, closer to a year. I guess you can say I'm one of those quarantine DJs that decided to pick up a mixer because had nothing else to do. But I guess it was a little bit easier with me because, well, a little backstory is I've always been in band. I've been in band since I was in third grade. I played like 7 different instruments. Um, so picking up the mixer was probably a little bit easier for me just because I saw it like as another instrument.
I feel that.
And yeah, and I was lucky enough to have people around me that were willing to help me, give me a shot. Um, especially like you met Will.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
he was awesome. I was actually at a live stream with one of the other DJs. She was the first DJ of Elation Moment. Her name was AG.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's an amazing house DJ. So I just mentioned it to him, like, yeah, I'm gonna buy a mixer, or I had already bought it, but it just hadn't came in the mail yet. And it was supposed to get there like that week, and Will was just like, okay, I'll give you 3 weeks, come up with the set, you're gonna play on a live stream. And I'm like, fuck, okay, I guess, like, just give me 3 weeks. And sure enough, in 3 weeks, I came up with something awesome, and we've kind of just been on this really cool journey together ever since. And it's really crazy, like the amount of opportunities that have been presenting themselves to me. I was never expecting for my music career to excel this fast. I always knew I wanted to DJ, but never at this level to the point where like this is my career now. Like I've lately I've been dedicating my entire life just music, mixing, where can I play next, who can I play for next, and it's kind of just every time I play a gig somewhere, I just want more people to notice me, and I just want to outdo myself with every single set that I do. And when I conquer that event, it's kind of just like what's next. That's always on my mind is what's next. What can I do to get bigger? Um, and that's it's just because it's something I absolutely love to do. It's awesome. Like DJing is my life, and I love it.
I love that. I love that. What if I may ask? What is your fuel? What keeps you fired up to keep going?
Um, you know, I coming from a person. Give me a second. My dog's barking. You know, I'm a very anxious person, so it can be pretty hard for me to get on stage sometimes. But I see people just, they're so happy when they listen to my music. They're so happy because they feel my energy. And it's just, it's seeing the crowd, seeing them just go nuts to your music. Like, it's really awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really dope. It's very therapeutic for me. Like when I'm mixing, like I forget about the world. Like nothing else matters in that moment except what I'm doing on the mixer.
Hell yeah. I love
And
that.
it's super awesome. It's super awesome.
So that overall energy is what keeps you going overall.
Yeah, the energy of the music, the just yeah, all of it, the crowd. Honestly, there's been a couple of times where I've gotten a little overwhelmed with the size of the crowd, but it's like eventually you just forget that the people are there because it's literally just me and the mixer. That's it.
I feel that. I feel that. I often am one of those people where like leading up to event, I'm a freaking nervous wreck. Like
Yeah, I
and I
feel
feel
that.
and once I press play, I just feel like this overcoming ecstasy emotion of like letting go of that vibe. And then at that point we're just cutting records and going right to it
Yeah,
and taking them on a journey. I feel that.
everything kind of just goes away because you know you take so long prepping for a set. Like even for me, like I literally spent 8 hours a day practicing on my mixer. Um, so I mean, just sometimes I'll overthink it, but once I see it being performed in front of a crowd, it's awesome. And I'm just like, I want to keep doing this. I want to keep doing this.
And if I may ask, I like asking our guests, but like, what would you say is your process, your creative process, when going into like, let's just say you had a big upcoming major festival, this is going to be like a major opportunity. How would you, if you can, break down your process for our listeners?
So my process, um, I really like to structure my sets. I like to give a very exaggerating, cool intro to all my mixes.
I love that.
And I'll go through every single song. And I'm really one of those artists that I'm gonna play what I want to play. I kind of think I was like, yo, you think people would like this? But then it's like, do I like this?
Bang.
Um, and so that I play music that makes me feel happy. And you know, I've been a raver since 2016, so I kind of already know what hypes up the crowd, what's gonna reel them in, you know. And it's so far like this whole process of playing music that I love has been working for me.
There you go. I totally agree with that. And you know what? Like, if it resonates with you, then it's gonna resonate with your crowd. You're gonna be feeding off the same energy that you're radiating back to them. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, just fucking people seem to like go nuts to your music, like they're crazy. It's so feel good, and it's awesome. Like this, I had a last event at the SoCal Desert, the I think like the desert raves.
Oh, the social desert.
Yeah, the social desert. That set I've been working on that set for months. Like just the amount of love and feedback that I had gotten back from that set was amazing, because every single song in that set was just a song that made me happy,
Hey,
and it was just really cool.
That's what I'm talking about. And if I may ask, because like I feel like for a lot of listeners, like, man, we don't even hear about these desert raves. But what led to up to the events of you landing that event, that booking that show?
Booking that show, like I said earlier, I've been very lucky to have people that have been very supportive and to have people that look out for me, that they're just trying to get me, to bigger and better shows. So one of my friends, shout out to Bro Jack, he's the one that told me, hey, dude, get on this show. Like, we're all playing it, blah, blah, blah. And sure enough, they're just like, okay, well, send me one of your mixes. We'll check it out. But if we like it, we'll let you know. And then a couple days later, I hit the girl back up, the one that's running that stage. And she's like, oh, yeah. She's like, I like this. She's like, I actually want to book you for our next 2 events.
Wow, bang,
And
back
I'm
to
like,
back.
all right, dude, let's fucking do it. So, yeah, it's
Hey,
awesome. And then Will himself, he's my manager. So he's constantly always working on booking a show. So, like, I'm blessed enough to be booked, like, every weekend for the next, like, 2 months.
wow. How'd you meet Will, if I may ask?
I met Will through AG. Like I said earlier, I was at one of their like little live stream. This was back when we had like 5-6 listeners on our live stream. And yeah, I met him through her. And I have met him previously at a festival, but I was a little wasted, so I don't remember.
Yeah,
um, it happens. It happens at
yeah,
festivals.
100%.
And he kind of I just really got to thank Will because he really just saw potential in me, and like he really knew that I was gonna be a hard worker. And sure enough, dude, like I have been, like I worked my ass off. Like it hasn't been easy getting to where I'm at right now as an artist because I do put in a lot of work.
And you know, and that's where it's at. A lot of people think that, oh, it just comes easy. You could put a couple of mixes out there, and all of a sudden, like, you just make it. But no, there's a lot of
Mhm.
work. And speaking of work, what would you say for any listener out there that is maybe in the same situation at home, plenty of time on their hands, maybe want to get started in a new career as a DJ? Like, what advice would you have for them, getting started and things like that?
Getting started in something like this, I would just say really sit down and talk to yourself and ask yourself, like, is this what you want to do? Because this stuff is very time consuming. I'm sure you know that. So, like, ask, like, do you want to dedicate your time to this? And if you decide yes, then go full on. Just pick up a mixer. There's cheap mixers out there. Start small. And ask people questions. If you have friends that mix, ask them questions. People listening to this, you can always come to me for questions. More than happy to help people out. I have a couple friends that I've been helping them out, and they're doing great themselves.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. And if I may ask, where can people reach you? What would you say is your best form of contact nowadays?
Instagram, DJ Bigg Rickk,
Hey, with the 2Ks.
2 G's, 2 Ks. Yes.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
man. That's what I'm talking about. And and just curious, where would you say? Because by the way, I was just listening. I even know the name. I was just listening to your last mix, dude. The no second chances. Tell us a little bit about that. What was the inspiration behind the name and song selection? By the way, it was freaking. I think I broke my neck listening to that. I was in the studio, like, just prepping my questions, and I'm like, holy fuck, man, this shit fucking slaps.
Thank you. So the inspiration behind that was actually a lot of work in the making. I'd say up to till this day, that has probably been one of the mixes that I worked on the hardest because that has to be a combination of every single skill set I've learned since I started mixing. I use so many different techniques in that mix itself. There's portions of that mix that I've already used from other mixes. Um, I just added stuff, mixed it up. Um, and the results of it have been awesome. Like I
Nice.
do have to say that No Second Chances has definitely gotten me the attention of where I want to be, just because in my earlier months of mixing, I didn't know what I wanted to mix. I went in wanting to mix this genre and it was really fun. It worked, but it didn't feed my what I wanted. It wasn't who I wanted to sound like as an artist. And then I tried going more into the heavy dubstep, and it works for me as well. But if you do listen to the mix, there is a couple different genres in there. I do start off with heavy dubstep, and then I go into some hardstyle, some side trance, some speed house, and I kind of just found a sound that works for me. And
Hey,
this whole set is entirely who Bigg Rickk is, because that was another piece of advice that another good DJ friend of mine told me. Um, when you start mixing, producing, etc., you need to let people know who Bigg Rickk is. Like, what do you want people to think of when they listen to your music? Or like, yeah, basically, like, you need, with your music, you need to let people know who Bigg Rickk is.
hell yeah, putting your signature sound out there, and and something that they really resonate. That, like, for example, when I was at your show, like, I was blown away with like just how cinematic your performance was, and like how like the edits and mashups of the tracks, like listening to some of the samples used, like made me feel like, oh man, like I recognize this, like I really don't know where it's going to go, but then bang, freaking before you know it, we're back at another banger. Really
Yeah,
enjoyed that. Really enjoyed that. Who would you say is your
yeah,
favorite
thank you. I
artist?
appreciate it.
Who would you say is your favorite artist? Maybe someone out there in the scene that inspired you prior to picking up your mixer, or before you got started. Who would you say kind of like really give you the nudge of like, man, this guy fucks, bro. I love his music, love his style. I want to one day become a DJ or a producer.
Yeah. So there is actually two DJs that have just completely inspired me, and I've actually been blessed enough to meet both of them. Um, my all-time favorite artist is Alice in Wonderland.
Hey,
I love her. I love her story. Like, I love how open she is with like her mental health issues, how much she struggled, how many times she heard no. She's quoted a couple times for several years. People just said, no, you're not going to make it in this industry. You know, you need to do this, you need to do that. But for years, she pushed and pushed until somebody recognized her music, until somebody gave her a break. And she worked and worked hard for that. And I feel like that's definitely something that I've gotten with Will. And being a whole part of this company is I've finally gotten my break to play the music that I want.
that's what I'm talking about. I love how the
Yeah.
universe aligns us with people and individuals that help us achieve our dreams as a collective.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely,
Um,
I resonate that.
Yeah, and then the other artist I would have to say is Riot 10.
Hey,
He is awesome. He's super awesome. He's always been actually very open with his story on how, a lot of times people told him no, and how he started basically where I'm at right now. And he just kept working and working. And I just feel like those two artists are really the definition of this shit does not come easy. You have to keep working. Eventually, people are going to tell you no. You can't let those no's bring you down. You have to keep working, because eventually you're going to end up finding your spot. And I feel like that's something I'm very blessed to have found so early in my career, a spot in a safe place that gives me the opportunity to play my music.
cheers to that, and I am sending that vibration that more abundance will come to that. I'm really excited to see it kick off. Where would you say what would you say is next in your DJ career? Are you, if I may ask, I haven't really dabbled with it, but are you also planning on producing originals in the future, or just
Yes,
curious about that?
yeah, absolutely. I definitely do want to work on my producing. I have a couple producers that are my friends, and they're like, if you have any questions, I'm more than welcome to help you out. Um, but right now, I do just really want to focus on my mixing, just because, like, I've personally been proud of myself on how far along I've been coming, all the new techniques I'm learning, and just how far I've gotten with just mixing itself. So I
Definitely.
feel like, I feel like I really want to master this before I start producing. because as much as I love dubstep, like I really don't know what I want to start producing yet.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that could be a
And
difficult
I
thing.
really, yeah, I want to be sold on one thing, or maybe not even stick to one thing. I'm sure like I'll be pretty good at producing any other genres, but I really do just want to like sit down, talk to myself, like what is it do I want to produce?
Gotcha.
But for now, I do want to just stick to my mixing and master it. So by the time I do start producing, I can just easily, mix my own songs.
There
If
you
that makes
go.
sense.
No, I feel that. And I definitely feel like the overall journey as becoming a DJ and evolving a technique, whether you choose, DJ controllers or CDJs or all the hybrids in between, it's definitely a constant evolving thing. It's not
Yeah.
something that you master overnight.
No, it's not, because I never knew there were so many controllers before. I've actually never had the opportunity to mix on CDJs until this Saturday. I'm actually playing a pretty big show in Corona for a company called Retrospect, and it's going to be in front of a bunch of people, and I'm just going to be thrown on CDJs, and let's hope for the best.
Hey, I feel you in that. Oh man, and I'll be honest. I myself have been intimidated with spinning on CDJs due to my own personal comfort zone that I have, like with the equipment that I have and the sound that
Yeah.
I developed using that.
Mhm. Yeah,
Definitely.
because there is certain things that, well, like you said, the comfort zone of your own equipment. I run on XDJs, so it's a little bit easier because you have the sound waves on top of each other.
Yeah.
But with the CDJs, they're completely opposite.
Yep.
But I feel like that's the whole main thing of this journey. If you really want to become a DJ, there's gonna be times where you're gonna have to step out of your comfort level.
100%.
You're gonna have to, you can be comfortable with your equipment, but there's so much other equipment out there that you're gonna end up having to use if you want to, go pro.
Straight up.
Yeah, even like with XDJs, there's so many different XDJs. There's different CDJs. You're just gonna have to jump into it.
Oh hell yeah, and I'm excited to explore with different equipment and things like that. For the most part, for the couple of years I've been running Tractor, and I have a pair of CDJs with no USBs. Like I kid you not, like I'm still freaking slamming actual CDs in these little bad boys
Shit.
here.
How
Um,
old are those things?
these are the Pioneer MK3s. They don't have USBs, but what I do is when I create my sets, I'll just burn the CD. It's a little more work, but there's a little bit of like there's something interesting about it, like going in and like selecting your songs and burning a CD versus just uploading it to a USB drive. It's different. But what can I say? That's how I learned how to beat match, because
No.
prior to this, I didn't have something that allowed me to learn how to beat match.
Right. Okay.
I've always felt like equipment's just expensive, like
Yeah, it
out
is.
of reach
It
for
really
some.
is extremely expensive.
You could say that
And
again.
I feel like that's why people are also a little bit more intimidated, because, they think, oh, mixing equipment is so expensive. Oh, well, but I mean, there's small controllers out there that are like maybe like $200, which I mean, guess, yeah, it's still a lot of money. But this is truly a career that you have to invest in.
100%, 1,000%. Um, yeah, definitely. And speaking about investing in yourself, where would you feel as you have invested in yourself, a particular asset, whether it was like more on the visual side of things or more on the audio side of things, where would you say in your career you've invested the most, that you would be able to reap the most benefits from, for any artists or DJs listening that maybe want to focus on that?
I I went I full set when I wanted to start mixing. I spent $1,300 on a mixer. But the thing is, that's the way I saw it was, I'm not wasting my money. I'm investing my money, and I can easily say I've pretty much already made the money I spent on that mixer back already.
There you go.
Um, it's just, I don't know. I guess this is one of those things where if you got to spend big to make it big, I guess.
It's time to make it
Yeah, yeah.
rain.
But you know, the thing for me, it was a little bit easier because I'm blessed. You know, I live with my parents. They, you know, they give me a spot here, and even them, they're very awesome, very supportive about my music. They've always been very supportive about it ever since I was like in elementary school, middle school, high school. Um, you know, even growing up with the instruments, they were the ones that always provided the instruments for me.
Nice. That was
Yeah,
actually something I was gonna ask. Like prior to like picking up like the mixer and stuff. Like, was there musical influences growing up? You know, throughout your whole life.
yeah. Well, all throughout high school, I was lead alto. I played the alto saxophone, and then I kind of just branched out to other things. I was actually very, very involved with band. The the music teacher was like one of my best friends. I was like a loser in high school. I didn't really have too many friends. Um, so I completely dedicated my entire life to band. I would write field shows for her. I was basically like her right hand man and everything.
Bang.
So I was very involved in the music, and she would give me a task. She said, "I want you to learn this instrument." I learned it in a week.
Bang.
Um, yeah. So I was very involved with that, and I feel like that just really gave me, um, I don't know, I guess more of an advantage when I started to pick up the mixer, because as more time went on, I just realized how similar this is to learning an instrument.
100%.
Because
Yeah,
the mixer is an instrument. 100% the mixer is an instrument.
I agree. Yeah, definitely. Especially when it comes to like timing and things like that. Like timing in music and tempo and just finding your place in a tune or a journey. 100%.
Yeah, definitely. And like I feel like that this is just why it was so easy for me, because prior to DJing, coming down fresh out of high school, I was gonna be a music teacher. Um, Up until I started raving, and I was just completely blown away by this culture. This culture was just absolutely amazing to me. And I always knew I wanted to DJ. I just never really knew when I would pick it up, until AG herself, you know, picked up a mixer. And I remember because she used to live across the street from me. Um, so I would just sit there and watch her for hours, just like, you know, mess around with her mixer. And I'm like, holy shit, this is so cool. And that's when finally I decided, I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna invest in this mixer. And
There you go.
honestly, I have to say this, investing in that mixer was the best decision I've ever made in my life.
Hey, there you go.
Absolutely.
For anybody listening, man, gotta trust that intuition. Big Rick sure hell did. And look, I mean, you're on every other major lineup and all the major festival events coming up that I see on my calendar.
Yes, I am. Honestly, I think that's so cool. I think it is really cool. Like I have people that'll just randomly like tell me, they're like, dude, you're like on every lineup now.
Yep, yep.
And I
Taking
mean,
over
like
LA.
I still am. I will always be very humble about it. But it's awesome. It is absolutely awesome. Yeah,
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
honestly am very blessed.
Hey, and if I may ask, what do you, if you were to pinpoint the root cause, aside from all like your hard work and everything, like that you've been putting towards your craft, like, is there anything specific? If you were to reverse engineer your tactics to get you where you are here now, what would you say to your yourself in the past? You know,
Mm, Something I would have told myself in the past was just play, like I said earlier, like play the music that makes me happier. Because when earlier in my career, I noticed how certain genres of music made other people happy. And I really saw that. Like there was actually a time that I considered going over to house music, just because I've known, you know, house music is a little more universal. And you know, I mean, you've heard my sets. I'm heavy
yeah.
dubstep. You know, there's some places if I were to play dubstep, people would be like, "What the fuck is this?"
I didn't bring my
But
neck brace.
yeah, you know, they're not ready for it. Um, and that's another thing. Like with my style, I feel like I've definitely set myself apart, mixing in that psytrance, that the hard style, the speed house, in with my set. I feel like that's something that has definitely gotten me noticed as well. that I was able to mash those genres up together and make them sound good.
I agree. I definitely don't know any other DJ that's being able to mash that up and successfully do it.
Yeah.
So I take my hat off to you for establishing
Thank you. Thank you.
a sound in that.
Yeah, and like earlier I told you, like I'm ready for people to tell me no. And early in my career, like I've had other friends, well not friends, but people tell me no, like that music isn't gonna work together. Like there's no way. And I was like, bet. I was like, I'm gonna make this shit work. And sure enough, I pulled it off just by trusting my intuition, working hard, and just spending countless hours. The no second chances. I probably cried like twice making that mix. I wanted to throw my mixer out the window.
I feel you on that. Music has a way of like pulling emotions. Definitely. Sometimes when I hear there's a couple songs, but like I Can't Stop, like there's a couple like dubstep tracks that would just pull those strings out of you and you just want to like break down, but and then again, like you're just, in the moment in happiness.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really awesome. And that's exactly the feeling I want to make people. I want to make people feel like they're at a rave. I want people to feel different emotions during my set.
Hey, well, I felt it, man. You threw me back, bro. When you threw some of the Mexican, wasn't mariachi, but you threw some of the Mexican, the chonga or the la chona,
Achona?
la
Yeah.
chona. When you played that shit, I'm like, oh no, he didn't. Oh no, he
Yeah,
didn't.
dude. Yeah, that's another thing with me. You can even go back and listen to some of my previous mixes. I really like mixing in Spanish music. I like keeping it very true to my heritage.
Hey,
I feel like that's something when I do start producing, I'm definitely gonna be working with like Spanish music, Spanish artists. Just because I just like to stay true to the heritage.
there you go. If I may ask, what is your nationality?
I'm Mexican. I'm full blood Mexican. Both of my parents, they're both from Mexico. They came here, started their own life, and then now I'm here hoping to make them proud one day.
Persevering. Oh, you're damn doing it, baby.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Hell yeah. Let me just analyze this. So question. Oh yes, I wanted to make sure I didn't forget to ask you this. No, if there's any major out of all the major festivals that you know in the world, what would you say is the number one major festival that you would want to be on, and why?
EDC.
Hey, what stage?
EDC. I think EDC is a little more personal to me because when I was 14, 15 years old, I saw that documentary called the EDC Experience. And this was even back when it was at the Coliseum in LA. And just something about the music, the crowd, the people, the stages, it was just so amazing to me. And even like before I started DJing, like I just thought that EDC was the coolest event in the world. And I never thought I was going to be able to experience EDC until I was like in my late 20s, just because it's a journey.
Oh yeah.
EDC is a mission. But sure enough, when I was 18 years old, I found these other people that were like, fuck it, let's go. We were 18, we were broke as fuck. We spent every single penny on this event. Since I experienced my first EDC, I'm like, this is amazing. And now that I started mixing, I'm like, I want to mix here one day.
There
and
you go.
I'm absolutely going to mix that EDC one day.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, manifest and you will receive.
Yeah, I don't know when. I mean, with all this shit going on, who knows when that place will open back up. But I do plan on playing at some of these major events. Even if my first major event isn't EDC, I'll take another one. But one thing I tell myself is, even though now I know I'm pretty decent at mixing, but I will never tell myself that I'm good until I'm playing on a stage at EDC. That day will be the day I tell myself, you made it.
There you go, man. Keep that feeling, that internal motion, what you would feel if you had just gotten off that set. And I'm telling you, before you know it, you're gonna be right there feeling it, baby.
Yeah, and I feel like every single gig I play right now, I'm just, the way I see it is I'm one step closer to that.
There you go. That's Definitely what I'm talking about. If I'm asking, is there any particular record labels, or like, you know how the music, like the EDM music industry is very, it's very, I don't want to say clicky when it comes to like record labels like Oswald and things like that, like or Diplo's record label. Is there a particular record label or camp that attracts you?
Um, you know what? I recently started looking into Subsidia. Um, I feel like just Excision came out with so many different types of artists, like not just heavy dubstep. Like there's so many people out there that have a different sound, and I feel like I would definitely want to get my hands or get into Subsidia somehow.
Hey, we're gonna have to tell Will. We're gonna have to start counting their A&Rs, baby.
Yeah, I hope
There
so. I hope so, dude. Manifesting it. Like I tell myself, it's gonna happen.
you
I just
go.
gotta keep working hard and stay true to who I am.
I love it. There you go, man. That's actually very important, staying true to the craft. Now,
Absolutely.
I had some really like odd questions I jotted down here, but I maybe some of our listeners wanted to know what is your longest set, and where was it that you did that, or how long was your longest set?
So that's a funny question. Um, I'm very good. You can even ask Will. I can play for hours.
Hey,
Um, I think my longest I've ever played with one standing, no restroom breaks, no nothing. I played from 9:30 a.m. to 5. No, 9:30 p.m. to 5 a.m.
oh my God, that's what I'm.
Yeah,
You basically ran the stage.
yeah, yeah. I can play forever. It just I'll lose track of time. Like I'll just be mixing, and next thing I know, I'm like, oh shit, hours went by.
That's right. I'm surprised you. I mean, I would have had to pee or something, man.
No, like I said, when I'm up there, like it's just me and the mixer. That's it.
Oh man, I don't know. Have you ever? When I lived in Florida, man, there was like these. I think it was Local Dice did like a 12-hour or 14-hour set at Club Space. The whole time I was just imagining like, please tell me there's a bucket underneath the booth or something. Like the man's gonna gotta pee, the guy's gotta eat. You know?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
No,
that's.
yeah, like and it was awesome. And I remember after that, people were like, "Holy shit! I can't believe you just did that." It was so awesome. It was so awesome, dude.
They definitely should have give you um like some kind of a medal or award for that, because that is definitely a long time. Your
They
feet.
tipped me pretty well. They tipped me pretty well.
There you go. I have a couple other ones. So do you
Nope.
have any goals or deadlines that you'd like to execute before the end of 2021?
See, the thing with that is just because due to COVID circumstances, it's really hard to accomplish big things as far as being like on big shows or major lineups, because say if festivals were still a thing, absolutely my goal by the end of the year would be to get myself on a major lineup,
Bang.
even if it was just at like an art cart or something, just
Yeah.
something to get my name on a lineup like that. Even though I have been doing pretty well at getting myself on all the major lineups around here, um, that would be my goal if COVID weren't a thing.
Gotcha.
Um,
I feel that.
yeah, I would say that that would have been one of my goals. But I mean, who knows? There are other states that are allowing shows and stuff. So yeah, honestly, I would probably say by the end of the year, that would be one of my goals, is to get myself on a major lineup.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Yeah,
Same here, brother.
yeah, dude. I feel like that's a lot of our goals. That's all. That honestly, if you're working as a DJ, that's going to be one of your goals, is to get yourself on a major lineup.
Straight up, straight up. And Lord knows this shit will do to get there. um, Question: is there anyone specific out there potentially listening that you'd like to shout out?
Right now, um, even I've mentioned him a couple times already. I would just have to say Will and AG, just because they've been so awesome with me. AG herself, anytime I have questions, like She's like one phone call, one text away. Now she lives like 20 minutes from here, but I know I'm always welcome at her house. I'm very thankful for her and her girlfriend. They both have just pushed me so hard to, get out of my comfort zone. And Will as well. Like, they've just pushed me to do things that I would never imagine that I would be doing right now.
There you go.
So yeah, so AG, Will, and her girlfriend, just super awesome. A lot of things to them. I will forever be grateful for them.
That's what I'm talking about. It's great and amazing to have a team that can support you every step of the way. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and it's just awesome to know that people see your potential. Like, they know what you're capable of, and they're constantly like, I'll have my days where I just want to quit, but you know that you have these people that believe in you and that they want to see you succeed. They want to see you win.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? I mean, that's one thing that some people don't really talk about, but like as a DJ, as an artist, there's a lot of different things that can be a major demoralization down moment that would kind of like make you want to just stop or quit.
Mm-hmm.
And for anyone that might be going through that now, is there anything you want to tell them to get out of that hole? Any suggestions you have for them for those moments?
As cliche as it sounds, I was actually just talking to another DJ about this today because he was telling me like, I really want to quit. Yeah, as cliche as it sounds, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely.
There is. You just gotta keep pushing. If you quit, then you quit. That's it.
Yeah.
You're never gonna know who knows what's gonna happen if you keep pushing. And the odds are, if you keep pushing, you're gonna get to where you want to be. You can't just let one fuck up, or even multiple fuck ups keep you from doing what you're doing.
Definitely.
Because everybody fucks up. We all fuck up, dude. We're human. But you can't let these mess ups keep you from doing what you love to do. Because if you do, then I'm sorry to say it, then you probably weren't cut out for this. Because what I've noticed about this industry, it's extremely cutthroat.
Very.
We're in an extremely cutthroat business, and you have to be strong. You have to be very strong to be able to just pick up from that last fuck up and forget about it and keep going. Yeah, that's it.
Definitely.
Just keep pushing. Don't give up. If you truly love this, you will not give up.
Hell yeah, baby. Can't stop, won't stop.
I won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
I feel that. I feel that 100, man. Man, I think I had a couple other ones here, but man, what can I tell you, man? It's been amazing talking to you. Just curious, where I know we mentioned your Instagram, but what are the major socials where people can reach out to you, book you? Yeah, where can people book you for any managers or talent managers?
Yeah. If you want to book me, just hit up the Instagram page, Elation Moment. Will be more than happy to help you out, talk to you about all the bookings, contracts, whatever. If you want to come to me personally, the best way to reach me is through Instagram, which again is DJ Bigg Rickk, DJ BIGGRICKK.
That's what I'm talking about. And I'll make sure to tag these all in the description of the video.
Awesome.
That's what I'm talking about. And man, before we let you go, man, what's next? What is next for you, brother? Where do you see yourself in the next 2 weeks?
You know what, dude? The way things have just been hitting me left and right, I don't know. There is so much coming. There's so much riding on these next couple gigs that I have. I have a couple people already looking out for me, which is a little nerve-wracking for me just because I know I have a lot of eyes on me right now.
That's right.
But one thing I guess I am proud of myself is I'm confident. I'm very confident in my music. I'm very confident in my performance. I have good stage presence. That's it. I have the energy. Always got to stay humble, of course.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, dude, honestly, I don't know. But I'm very excited as to where my career is going next.
Bang, man. And you know what, man? We're going to be tracking it very closely here at Scruffy Life Records. We're going to be scoping it and supporting as much as we can.
Awesome. I appreciate that. I appreciate it a lot.
Hell yeah, man. Well, Bigg Rickk, I just want to say on behalf of Scruffy Live, thank you so much for coming onto the show. Indeed, it has been a lot of fun. Get to know you and get a closer look at your career. And thank you so much for sharing your advice and your process. I definitely feel that some people are very let's just say not so open to sharing like their process. So thank you for sharing your process here on Scruffy Lives.
Of course. Thank you for having me. And like I said, if anybody has questions, you have questions, you know where to reach
Hell yeah. Repeat that tag handle one more time, brother.
me. Instagram, DJ Bigg Rickk, DJ BIGGRICKK.
That's right, baby. And make sure to contact Elation Moment to get him booked. And that's right, baby. You heard it loud and clear here on Scruffy Live Sessions podcast. Bigg Rickk, this is your host, DJ Scruffy. We're out, baby. I'll see you next time. I
Thank
would
you.
love to have you on the show again, by the way.
Absolutely. Anytime you just let me know.
Gang, gang. All right, brother. That's all she wrote. And we're out.